Now let's talk about the filtering of the firewalls and classifying firewalls according to its filtering types. The packet filter firewalls is the first type of firewall we are going to explain. This type of firewall is low-end firewalls. It is not very secure. It does not offer the maximum security, but it offers the maximum speed. It's very fast. It can enhance the security, it can make it better, because it relies on the destination port on taking the decision about the traffic, on filtering the traffic. As you can see in the diagram, the firewall investigates the UDP dest port, which is the field that contains the destination port number of this UDP packet. According to this value of this field, the firewall decides whether to accept this packet or reject it, whether to allow it into your network or to ban it from your network. So this type of firewall checks only the header, checks only some fields related to the source IP, destination IP, source port number, destination port number, and takes the decision whether to accept this packet or reject this packet according to these fields only. So the data content inside this packet passes unchecked. The data content may contain some malicious code, may be dangerous, may be unwanted traffic. So this type of firewall will be susceptible to such types of attacks that depend on the content, because the content here passes unchecked. So let's have a look also at the NAT firewall, the network address translation firewall. This diagram describes how the NAT happens, how the network address translation happens. At the middle we have the NAT device. This device is facing the internet with an interface card that has a real IP address 128.38.1.1, and that has another, this device has another NIC card, network interface card, with a virtual IP address that is 172.16.1.1. Now this device has two faces, one with real IP facing the internet, another one with virtual IP facing the intranet. This intranet is your internal network, and it is filled with virtual IP addresses. It is filled with IP addresses that are not real. The machines having IP addresses 172.16.1.10 or 20 or 30 or 40 are your machines inside your network. All of these machines are seen by the internet as machines having the IP address 128.38.1.1. What is the advantage of this? Any machine on the internet would not be able to have direct access to any of the internal machines with 172.16.1.10, because this netting hides the internal network to be accessed directly from any machine on the internet. This NAT device acts as a firewall. It provides a single address outside our protected network, so it protects your internal network from any direct communication that could be malicious. The NAT device can contain a firewall with certain rules to allow some types of communication and to ban and to reject other types of communications to be done or to be communicated with your internal machines. This is the other type of firewalls. So we have packet filtering firewalls, NAT firewalls, and we have the third type, that is proxy firewalls. Proxy firewalls maintain complete TCP connection state and sequencing through two connections. The proxy firewall makes the connection itself to the destination server and makes another separate connection to the user inside your internal network. So it makes two separate communications, and in between these two separate communications it investigates the traffic arriving from the outside network to the inside network through a process table that manages to keep the connections straight, that gives the user the feeling that he is connecting to the internet directly through this process table. We have the opportunity to inspect every single bit and byte in the arriving traffic to this firewall, and to take decision either to accept this packet, either to allow this traffic, or to reject this traffic. This proxy firewall is the most secure form of the firewall, but it has the disadvantage of slower performance because it inspects every single packet and every single field inside this packet to take the decision either to allow or to reject. We had the two extremes, the packet filtering firewalls, which is very fast but low performance, the proxy firewall, which is very slow but high performance. We can have something intermediate, which is called the stateful inspection. It inspects traffic by group of packets, not by each single packet. It inspects packets maybe 5 by 5 or 10 by 10. It has dedicated proxies actually running the protocol, so the user machine inside your internal network is not in a direct communication with your server on the internet. So this stateful inspection cannot be fooled by using an unexpected destination port. It cannot be fooled by one malicious packet or a series of malicious packets. So this stateful inspection in the firewall allows it to detect the attack that is composed of a series of packets. An attack that is composed of a series of packets can pass through the packet filtering firewall because each packet in this series is good in itself. But by stateful inspection, you can discover that this packet, in addition to the following one, are forming an attack. Stateful inspection cannot be fooled by such type of attack. Stateful inspection provides a balance between packet filtering and proxies. It is not so slow, it is not so fast, and it is not so poor performance, and it is not the best performance, but it is an acceptable performance and is a good choice in most of the cases. We have also here the personal firewalls, the firewalls that are not separating two networks but are set on your machine as Windows or Unix machine to protect your machine from the network that it is connected to, from the traffic arriving to it from the network. The personal firewall can be just the packet filtering like the IP tables commands on the Linux, and can be stateful firewalls on Unix like Linux netfilter and IPF and OpenBSDPF. The personal firewall can be the Windows firewall built inside any Windows machine right now, and can also be an application control firewall designed by a third-party program, just such as Zone Alarm or any other program, any other third-party company that has built or designed the firewall to be established and set up on the user machine to protect it from any malicious network connection. To summarize the firewalls, it can be a primary intrusion detection sensor. It can be your primary and first wall of defense. Firewalls provide a mix of capabilities to meet requirements. You can use packet filters in some times, stateful inspection at other times, application gateways at other times, proxy firewalls at maybe your border network, and packet filters inside your internal network, or on the contrary, use packet filters on the border and proxy inspections at the inside network. You can use a mixture of the capabilities of the firewalls and detect and design the security required by each of the firewalls installed on your network. Thank you.